everyone. How's it going? I don't have a green screen behind me this time, partially because I didn't feel like having to deal with that this time. I also the bigger thing is that I didn't feel like turning on my actual lights for this stream because it's daylight saving now, and I don't really feel like having bright lights being on. You understand how it is. Thank you, Bridget Worth, for subbing, and thank you, Giddenstish. Thank you also for subscribing. Much appreciated. Anyway, I just figured that today I was gonna. The other reason, if you see this big thing, this is a mobile deadening vocal booth. I had to set it up for last week because I was recording some stuff, and I haven't taken it down. I set it up on Thursday, and I was like, well, I'll take it down because I have to record other things in this. So I said, well, I will take care of that some other time before the stream on Monday, and then I didn't do it. So oopsie daisy. What can you do? Thank you, Ryan Snura. Yeah, so anyway, I did have the thought. I was like, maybe I could do the whole thing. I could do today's stream inside of the booth in the darkness, but then I was like, that's not gonna be fun, and also it gets really hot in there, so I didn't feel like doing that anymore. You might be wondering, hey, what the heck is today's title mean? You might remember a few weeks ago when I first started this stream, I said, what if I make a Celine Dion cover album? And so I was thinking about that, but I realized, I was like, to be perfectly honest, That's the Way It is the only song that I really feel like covering for Celine Dion. I don't think I can pull off the rest of her songs. And so I was just looking it up. Thank you to Clam4Jam. I was looking it up, and when I was on Wikipedia, I noticed a name that I recognized. One Max Martin, who you might have heard of. And if you haven't heard of him, I can promise you that you have heard of all of his music. Because he is maybe one of the most successful songwriters of all time. He is responsible for 26, right? Yeah, 26 Billboard #1 songs. Over the span of 26 years. Over the span of 26 years, let me see, I'll just pull up his full discography. Like, I don't think... Here's his production discography. It's the most bonkers list you've ever seen in your whole life. All right? Like, got Show Me Love, Robin's Show Me Love, Everybody, Backstreet's Back. Like, he did basically all of the Backstreet Boys songs. Quit Playing Games with My Heart. Like, the fact that you have to indicate the fact that this blue means it was top 10. White, or yellowish white is Billboard #1. He has made every popular song you have ever heard. All right. If it is, and like, he's not done. I want to make it clear. He is, I think, listed as the co-producer / writer on every single song, or most of the songs. Yeah, I was going to say on Ariana Grande's upcoming album, he is on pretty much every single one of them. And so I was like, he's going to have another top 10 at least this year, right? But like, this dude is unbelievable. I don't think, like, it's hard to describe just how much this one man has defined pop music for 26 years. Like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine being at the top of your game for 26 years? Also, it's very important to remember, like, where did he say his influences? Yes. Martin highlighted who else but ABBA, Kiss, Prince. I don't know who Lassie Holm is. What did you do? He's a Swedish guy, but I'm sure he's made some great music. But like, of course, right? So Max Martin again. Also, I have to admit I don't know anything about Max Martin in terms of his life. But usually it's a pretty good sign when you click on the personal life section and it's 2 sentences long. Like this is what you want in a good Wikipedia article, is like, you don't want the personal life to be so messy it goes longer than this. If it's just Martin got married, has a child, lives in Los Angeles and Stockholm, that's like the best possible thing. So maybe, I don't know what he's like as a collaborator, as a creator, but has made some bangers. Astoundingly good at writing pop music. Like, truly, like, the other thing about this is that knowing how good all of these songs are, it's made me want to look up, like, let's look up Gotta Be You by Brotherhood. This is, or no, Gotta Be You by 3T featuring Herbie. I've never heard this song before. Let's just listen to this song really quickly and see how it sounds, shall we?
Where to?
And also watch this ad for How to Be Single. Sorry guys, sometimes you have to have the other ads when you're pulling up. Okay, yeah. This rules. I've given up on DMCA. I just want to make it clear. I don't care about this anymore. I've accepted that this stream is going to be broken very strong. Every time that I come onto this stream, I'm going to do something that's going to make my stuff get copyright at some point. So, oh well. But anyway, pretty great. I should quickly listen to Lassie Home Cannelloni Macaroni. That does sound like a good song name right there, Dan Joe. But I'm just gonna, I mean, here's that, the thing that happened to me was that, like, I have known about Max Martin for years now. But what keeps happening to me is that I will find a song and be like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I'll look it up and I'll be like, oh, Max Martin is part of it. Oh, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, basically all of, like, Teenage Dream had 4 number ones, and all 4 of them were at least co-written or produced by Max Martin. It's ridiculous. That's absurd. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. This guy is a tank. It's frightening, honestly. I've never seen someone like I think he is the second most decorated. I think I read this in here. That was like, oh yeah. Second most number 1 singles behind only Paul McCartney and tied with John Lennon. Can you imagine being as good of a songwriter as John Lennon? Like, regardless, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable what this guy has managed to do. So anyway, this was my thought, was that instead of making a Celine Dion cover album, what if I open it up and I make it a Max Martin cover album? What if I just do, and this will be an on and off thing on this stream, right? Like, I'm not going to be making all of these every single time that I come onto the stream, but as a thing that just happens every now and again when I'm like, oh, I've got no idea what to do today, why don't I cover another Max Martin song? How about that? I also have to remember that, like, so Max Martin wrote Baby One More Time, which was Britney Spears' first single, which has to be one of the strongest debut singles of all time, right? Baby One More Time is amazing, and I was reminded of how great that song is because Tenacious D did a cover of it for Kung Fu Panda 4, which very, very good. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? If there's ever a moment of like, I don't know what thing to do today, why don't I just look up Max Martin's discography, find one of the songs on there because I know all of them, and why don't I just figure one out? Like, to be honest, I didn't realize that he did Robin's Show Me Love, which everyone, if you don't know the song, it goes, show me love, show me life, show me like, you know all of these songs. Even if you couldn't pick them out, you have heard them all. And so maybe, I mean, I could do a Max Martin cover roulette. Can I do it? There's like an online roulette maker, right? Yeah, here's a wheel decide. Shall I do this? I mean, I guess I could do a wheel decide, or here's a better option. I could just, I'll bring it up as I'll do it as a poll for the Twitch chat. How about that? That seems like it might make more sense. That should be fine. Anyway, so here's some songs that we can go through. If any of them pop out to you, please let me know, because all of them should. I mean, like, Larger Than Life is amazing. Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely, amazing, obviously. You Drive Me Crazy by Britney Spears, also amazing. Of course, That's the Way It Is. Very, very important. Thank you, Bridget Worth, for gifting a sub. Of course, He Made the Call by Backstreet Boys. One of my favorites. It's Gonna Be Me. I'll Never Stop. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, whenever, you know, when people, when like older creators are like, well, you know, times changed and I just didn't keep up with the times. Max Martin created the times. Max Martin doesn't need to keep up with the times because the times change when Max Martin says the times change. Ridiculous. Thank you, Max William, for subscribing. What else we got in here? Since You've Been Gone? God. More Celine Dion. Very, very good. Now we're getting into the point where there was like a little lull, but then Pink came back and really started making things happen again. Katy Perry was a huge one. James Blunt's on here. Enrique Iglesias is on here? That's great. This dude writes for everybody. Simple Plan? Cyndi Lauper? What? Ridiculous. This dude's worked with everybody. Vanessa Hudgens? You made a song for Gabriella? For High School Musical Gabriella? Unbelievable. Wow. Just ridiculous. Carrie Underwood, Adam Lambert, Kesha. I mean, okay, here's what I'll do. Let's put, oh my gosh, thank you, Bridget Worth. Extremely kind of you to gift so many subs. As a reminder to everybody, because I try to bring it up at least once in every stream, I do appreciate subs and everything on Twitch, but it would be much better if you subbed on my Patreon, because more of the money comes to me, and it should hopefully be cheaper and for a better value. You know what I mean? So that's all good. But I don't mind. I do appreciate all of the. I still am very grateful for it. I just also make sure I mention that every time, just so people know. God, Miranda Cosgrove's in here. Avril Lavigne again, the Glee cast, but that's just because they're all the songs that they're singing anyway. Pitbull. Everyone's heard the Pitbull Dolly Parton song, right? Everyone's heard that one, right? We've all heard that. The Pitbull 9 to 5 about you guys. No one has heard this. Are you guys haven't caught up? It's called Powerful Women. It's called Powerful Women. And oh boy. He does say Dolly. Dale. He says it. He says it in the song. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. This was released maybe like a couple weeks ago. I'm astounded more people haven't latched on to the beautiful sincerity of Dolly Parton and Pitbull's Powerful Women. Just go listen to it. I'm just gonna not talk for the next 3 minutes and 5 seconds, so that way you can all go listen to it on your own while I'm looking at more of these songs that Max Martin has produced, okay? Wow. Wait, did this guy make Dynamite? I think he did, didn't he? Yeah. I can't believe this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. I mean, it's overwhelming to even pick like 4 of these to decide what we're gonna do. But like, you did like all of the 1989 productions. Not productions. He did the production on a bunch of the 1989 songs. He did all of the Weeknd's popular music is by this guy. He did Can't Stop the Feeling from Trolls. Max Martin. Silly business. Okay, let's just pick a couple of these, shall we? And let's pick I don't want to just pick the most popular ones, although I do really, cuz they're all super popular, huh? I mean, I could do, how about, I think I saw Jessie J's Domino in here, which is a great song. Yep, I was right. Jessie J's Domino's in this, so I'll add that to the poll. Of course, That's the Way It Is by Celine Dion. Domino, Jessie J. Oh, I can't put all the letters in here, so I'll have to do it like that. That is fine. What's another good one? Oh yeah, I forgot. Dolly raps in the song. If that's a special surprise if you didn't realize that. That's a special surprise. How about, which Katy Perry song am I gonna choose? Because they're all pretty great. How about, I could do Teenage Dream. The One That Got Away is a good one. California Girls. E.T. is the funniest. If I put E.T. in here, I think that would be a bad song for me to cover, but I'm going to put it in just because it is the funniest one, isn't it? All right. Oh my gosh, thank you very much, Carbon Lich. Incredibly kind of you. to gift so many subs. Ridiculously kind. Oh my god, it's harder for me to pick 5 than it is for me to do anything else. I guess I'll put a Taylor Swift in here, but I don't know which one I want to put in. Maybe something? Thank you, Scareball 4. How about oh no, I should put on. I've talked enough about Robin. I should do another early one too, because I've done a couple later ones. So let's do at least one Backstreet Boys. So let's put Robin's "Show Me Love" on there, because that one's a great one. And then, which Backstreet Boys am I gonna choose? This one's the hardest one. Which Backstreet Boys am I gonna put in here? Everybody, but I don't know. I'm not Backstreet's Back. As Long As You Love Me might be the one that I'm gonna put in here. I don't care who, because I feel like I could do a weird thing with that as a. Yeah, let's do that one. I'll go there, and of course we can always come back and do a different one as well. But we're gonna do As Long As You Love Me. Okay. Backstreet Boys. Okay. All right, everybody, you got 5 minutes to choose which song I'm gonna go with first. Sounds good to me. The poll is up. I hope you're ready for it. Let's see what we're working with. The good news is I know most of these songs pretty well. The problem is that I put E.T. on here, which is the silliest thing for me to do. I should have known better. I should have known better than to put E.T. on there. I knew it was going to get chosen. Because I have E.T. lyrics, Katy Perry. I don't actually know all of them, but they're pretty great. You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? Your touch magnetizing. Feels like I am floating. Leaves my body glowing. They say, be afraid. It's also like 2 notes, right? That's all the notes that Katy sings in this one. I guess it goes into, you're from a whole other world, a different dimension. You open my eyes, and I'm ready to go, lead me into the light. All right, I'm getting into it. The more that I sing it, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I could get into this one maybe. But I'd want to do something weird with it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to remix this one a little bit, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited. What do we got? Currently, it seems like it's between 3 now. It really, I don't think it's gonna be That's the Way It Is or Domino. 2 songs that I adore. I will probably get to those ones at some point if we keep doing this project. But it seems to just be between E.T., Show Me Love, and As Long As You Love Me, which are all, 3 great songs. What I need to make sure that I do this time is turn off my PC audio, so that way I can keep all 3 of these songs up and running over here in the corner in case I need them. E.T., Katy Perry, just so I have so I know what the song sounds like. I just want the song. I don't want the music video. Just come over here for now as I keep getting ads. But hopefully you don't have to hear those ads as well. Because I turned off that. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right. I got Katy Perry's E.T. ready, just in case. Show Me Love by Robin, just in case. I don't know. I've never watched the music video for Show Me Love. It is of its time. Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what era this got made. That I ever needed me love, what it's all about. Show me love, show me life. Anyway, great song, fabulous song. And then, of course, As Long As You Love Me. I don't know if I've watched this music video. Oh, I have. I've watched this music video. I remember watching this music video. I had to watch this exact music video when I was doing my Crash Bandicoot video. This is where I think I got most of my clothing, was from that specific video of As Long As You Love Me. So yeah, pretty great. I forgot about this great shot of the boys. They've cute girls have walked in the door. They don't care. They're playing basketball. They don't get, oh, what's this? Make it a little less obvious, guys. This this music video rules, man. I forgot about how much I love this. I just want you guys to know that now I've only been in the entertainment industry for a handful of years now. But this is exactly how every audition goes. This is 100%. They bring you into a warehouse where there's a couple empty cars just hanging out in the sidelines. They bring you in. They say, come on, make a song. Make sure your friends are there and that you're also playing basketball with them. And that's how every... If you're looking to get... if you're looking to become a star, you just need to watch this video. It's a masterclass and how every audition is in Los Angeles. So just remember that. Okay? But anyway, speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear. E.T. lost by 4 votes because 2 Clam 4 Jam spent 21,000 channel points in order to push it over the limit. It's how it is sometimes. That's the beauty of being here from back when I was still making my my exercise morning things. I by the way, I have been exercising, or I've been trying to get back into exercising. It is tough. I'm trying my best, but that's how it is. Look, I never claimed that this was a democracy. Sometimes you gotta let the people who have been hoarding their channel votes use them all at once to make me cover As Long As You Love Me. It's just how it is sometimes. Just how it is. But anyway, now we know what we're working with right now, which is pretty great. Let me just pull this up really quickly. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Let's see if I can do this pretty easy. Okay. This should be fine. I'm pulling up some chords just so that way I can look at those as I go. Thank you, by the way, Shady Burb. Much appreciated. Let's do this. Let's do this, shall we? Okay, so we're oh, this is an easy chord progression, isn't it? So let's find a nice drum sound first, maybe. That could be a good idea. You can all hear this one at least, right? This is coming through okay. It's not too quiet, too loud. Everything all right? I hope. Okay. What am I gonna work with here? This is what I'm gonna work with first. Boom 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 boom. All right. I think I can deal with that. I'm also gonna bring up the Ableton a little bit, so it's a little more louder. But I think what I'm thinking about for this one is I could just cover it like they have here, which is beautiful. This is also how all auditions work, by the way. They put you in silly outfits and make you shoot a bow and arrow. I just wanted to point that out, just in case you guys weren't sure. Let's see if I can do there's like that intro slow bit, right? Where it goes like, I'm just gonna sing it for you while I'm listening to it. There's like that. And then, of course, they got the little acoustic guitar. This was back when they still used a lot of acoustic guitar in pop music. They still do, but it doesn't get as much play as it used to. I'm just saying. So let's do. Maybe I do start with I don't normally start with chords in this kind of thing. I usually try to get the beat down. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I do. Let's play around with just a simple. Let's bring out our Canadian keys in honor of. Well, isn't one of the Backstreet Boys Canadian? I can never remember. There's always, this is the same thing that I mentioned before, where I'm like, usually there's one Canadian person who sneaks in. Usually there's one. In the same way I did with worrying about Michael Bay. But I don't remember if any of the was. No, Brian Luttrell's straight from Kentucky. AJ McLean, West Palm Beach, Florida, about as American as it gets. Orlando, Florida, for Howie. Nick Carter, Jamestown, New York. Kevin Richardson. Kentucky again. A couple Kentucky boys from Backstreet Boys. I didn't realize this. Good for them. All right, so no Canadians. But I'm still going to use these Canadian keys just because I'm interested in them. Let's make this. All right, let's figure out what we're working with here with just the basic. Let's just do the intro, shall we? Which is just an F, right? All right, let's no, wrong. Sorry. I'm still learning Ableton. That's the point of the stream. We all know.
That's the point of the stream.
We all know that. Okay. So, start it from here. It's a loop, and we have it end after 4. And I think I managed to make, I think I fixed the weird clippiness. Let me see if, I think we're okay now. Yeah. Let's also, I gotta figure out how fast I want this to be. It's a way slower in the original, but maybe I want it to be faster. As long as you love me. Boom. Let's see if I can do something like this. Will this be too much? Also, I should make these a little quieter. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like Canadian keys anymore. I've changed my mind on Canadian keys. I want to change it to something else. Okay, let's do. What happens if I make this alien army? Weird. I don't like that, but I was just interested. It's an operator. Maybe I want a little weird. A little weird. Too loud. What is going on here? That doesn't change anything, does it? Okay. All right. Well, let's work on. I haven't even figured out what kind of cover I'm doing of this. Am I just making it normal? Am I just doing exactly what the original does? Ooh. This is a weird one, and I kind of want to play around with this for a bit. Funny. Okay. This is... This sounds like Rugrats. I'm just doing this very basically right now, just to lay down what I'm working with. Thank you. It's Max Martin. That's the man who is being maximized today. The truest, most maximum Martin in the whole world. A minor. And then G. Yep, it's the four chords we know and love, baby. Care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from. Anyway, so that's a thing. I'm still not sold on this sound yet. But I just wanted to give it a try. Because I also want this to be going throughout it, right? Where it's gonna be like, if this is I want it to be like much more percussive in the rest of it, like a nice like da 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 da, right? Like something more like. So if I was to do like, Yeah, this one has a little too much reverb for me right now, and maybe I could always just fix that in the. Let's actually, you know what? While I'm saying this out loud, why don't I try to fix it right now? Let's see what the situation is. Let's see if I can mess around with this, cause I'm testing here. I'm testing here. I'm testing here. I'm testing here. We know this. What happens if I do? Okay. It's got a little wobble to it, and I don't. Don't know. I don't know. What if I use a clav? No. It's funny. Ooh, wait a second. Yeah, this is it. I know it seems silly, but I think this is the thing. Okay. That's fun. And then I think what I want to do with it is, if I can keep... So this doesn't have, like, any... It doesn't have any strong, like, sustain in it. But I guess I could always mess around with, like, some reverb or something on it. Yeah, maybe I'll just take a look. What's a resonator? What is this gonna do to it? I'm worried. It might be loud. I hope it's not. It's not what I wanted, but that's funny. That's a funny thing to put in there. Maybe Paris is what I want. No, I just wanted a funny to learn there. Redux. I mean, let's just get... Okay. There we go. That sounds a little more nice. So this won't be like the heavy part of the song. This will be kind of in the backgrounds. I will have to probably put in a different instrument for the other parts, because I don't want them to be this loud. Yeah, especially if I bring the velocity down. That's fun. But this is the chorus and the intro. Cool. So we'll have to come back to that. But let's play around with... So what I'm gonna do here is, whoops, wrong. Because I'm gonna mess around with the chords here to build out the full song, right? Like that's what I'm trying to get. Is that with just a handful of loops right here, I'll be able to create the skeleton structure of the whole song. Because this song is pretty easy. And again, that's not a bad thing. There's a reason why Max Martin is so successful, and it's because he keeps it simple. He knows what he's doing. He's very, very talented at this. Whew. But anyway, let's see what we got going on in here. Let's bring this a little wider because this is what I'm going to be playing around in most of the time, so it sucks if I keep it just at the very bottom of the screen. So this one will be like the main section of the verse. So I guess I need it to be like 8 measures long. The friend of mine. Right? Cool. So let's just see what we're working with over here now. Okay. All right. It's pretty quiet right now, so I'm going to make this a little bit louder. Maybe I will bring these ones up. And then we just go back down to G. And I'll bring this one actually lower to go beat down. Oh, I can... There we go. There we go. Brian, you've learned a thing. You've learned a thing about Ableton, which is that you can press shift down if you want it to go down the octave, and that way you don't have to waste your time dragging it. And then we have a C. With a B at the bottom, which is fun. So let's get this up one again, and let's bring this back down to C. Yeah, actually, no, I do want these to be up here. Cool. All right. So this is pretty simple. This is pretty simple right now, but I like what's going on with this, and I like the rhythm of it. So that's the first part of the verse, right? So it's a friend of mine. I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind. So this one actually I could keep it down because it's actually also a 4-bar loop. So literally the start of this song is this, right? Where it's like as long as you love me. Then we go into here. Oh, loneliness and been a friend of mine. Sorry, I need to have my click on or else I can't hear anything. This is why I need my let's go ahead and make a little drum kit, shall we? Whew, that's loud. I mean, I want it to be loud though. I'm trying to think of the rhythm of this song right now. So it's boom 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 boom. So it's literally the rhythm I just made, right? Which is might be a little too much. Yeah. And then I just need a clap, really. Maybe like a... No, I don't like that. Okay, so like in the original song, there's like a nice just like shake throughout. And these ones can all be lower. I don't like... This might be getting a little too spooky, but maybe that's what I'm going for with this cover. I'm not 100% sure yet. I love Tube Hit. I don't like this drum yet, but that's okay. Maybe what I don't like is where this is sitting. Okay, that's something there, maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Max Martin is the guy who did that. I'm pretty sure. Fairly certain. Max Martin was the one who made the fart into a great beat. Only Max Martin could have the genius. He at least was involved with it, right? Because he helped write the call. Let me see what the what it says on the Wikipedia, because this is where it has... Oh, yeah, it was Max Martin directly who did that. The song's bass sound is the sound of Howie Doro's flatulence while recording the vocals, which producer Max Martin then turned into the signature bass sound. Was breathing in really heavily, singing my part, and I guess some extra air kind of came out. It made everybody laugh, and Max decided to take that and sample it into the dun dun dun. Max Martin is a genius for a reason. Max Martin is a genius. I'm amazed that most people don't know this song or don't know that about The Call. Genius, he's the best. Max Martin knows what's going on. He's a king. Maybe I need a bass in to really make this land for me, because right now it's not landing, and I want it to. I want it to land for me. Let's get a good. Let's. Maybe that's it. How does this sound in a bass key? Yeah, that sounds nice in a bass key, especially with this. Once again, easy to do because I just am following the most basic bass line in the world right now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Pretty easy. I guess I'll put that one down here so that way it matches with the other one. And then the other part is it's just the same thing. History, as long as you're here with me, I don't care. And so then there's, I guess, one that doesn't go into the B as we're going into. So the second, I'm gonna have this be the final thing here, which would just go. Like that, and then the same thing here, which will be just an altered version of this that doesn't go down. Great. So if I were to sing through this right now, it would go like this. It would go, loneliness undermine. I'm leaving my life in your hands. And people say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what there is written in your history, as long as you're here with me. I screwed it up because I had to press that one as the last one, because this one should have been written in your history, as long as you're here with me. I don't care who you are, where you're from, and what you did, as long as you love me. I mean, what I should probably do is make another one of these that is in the correct key. I should keep this same sort of energy in this one, right? And that's pretty easy to do because I just have to swap these ones around, really, is all I have to do. So this one has to go here, or I'm gonna take this one and it's gonna go right there. The A minor is gonna go after that, so this one actually has to come over here. Really, once you know enough about the chords and stuff, music is just a puzzle. Music's just a weird little puzzle, a freaky little puzzle for freaks. That's what I'm always saying about music. People are like, what brings you, why do you like to make music? And I say, oh, it's just kind of like a freaky little puzzle for freaks. You know what I mean, right? And now this one will have, where you're from, or what you did, as long as you love me, who you are, where you're from, as long as you love me. Okay, so pretty good. Look at me. Look at me saving. Look at me saving. It's only been an hour and I'm saving now. Aren't you guys proud of me? I did it. Okay. Yeah, this song is like so easy to build out, which is pretty great. And then let's go ahead and just copy and paste this one in too, and then I'll just do the same thing where I match the bass note of this, right? And we're going with F. Oh no, F and then C, isn't it? And then back to G. So now if those go together. I'm just gonna make this simpler. Don't mess with a good thing. Simple. Great. So if I were to record this right now and I were to do this kind of thing, right? I just have to go. This is the intro, right? Happens twice. It's got the bass line in it. And then right before it's time, I gotta swap it out. Baby, here we go. Turn on these ones. No, I screwed it up. I was doing pretty good. I was doing pretty good up until that point. I just didn't click fast enough. I didn't click my buttons fast enough, guys. I'm sorry. I absolutely flubbed it. Okay. Yeah, this is the simplest chord progression in the world. It's just C, F, G, A minor. I'm pretty sure it doesn't change out of that the entire time. There's like one part, I guess, that you could put in a seventh or whatever, put the G over B, but like it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it too much. So now if I were to click over here, I could have this one be the right thing is going to happen right now. If I'm here and then I click these ones so that way they're all in the right zone. So now it'll be like this. Okay. And this is the verse. People say I'm great and I am blind. Risking it all at a glance. The third time, it's the same as the other times. But the fourth time, you gotta be aware of. Right now, I swap it on over. Now we're into the fourth time. And this one just lands. And what's going on here? Time for the chorus. Let's go to the chorus. Great. This goes through twice, and it's simple. Just twice through, easy to know. Great. So that's done. Basically, we've got the first part of the whole song ready to go. What I need to figure out is if I end up recording into this, what's the situation with how it's gonna sound? Let me listen really quickly. If I can, am I gonna have to put on different voices for the different Backstreet Boys? That's the question I have. Oh, and then of course I forgot. You got a little harmony coming in with the "Can't Get You Out of My Head," right? Like that's pretty solid. What is written in your history, long as you're here with me, who you are. Oh man, forgot about this part of the music video. This is also really important. Where they transform into each other, they anamorph. Oh, that's great. Every audition has a chair dance too. This music video is the coolest thing you could be. You can't get cooler than this video. This is peak cool. All right? Everything's gone downhill from here. It's great. Let me just go ahead and see what happens if I record a version of this. If I get a little bit, I just want to get it to a point so that way I can hear how it's sounding in context. I don't think I'm going to sound really great right now. Usually, by the way, I forgot. Here, actually, you know what? Let's take a little break real quick because I just remembered something very important, which is that I hear a howling in the distance. Oh, what could that mean? It can only mean one thing. It's time for you to show me what you are doing. This stream is all about being in the background, and while you are doing your own art. If you pay attention to this stream even slightly, congratulations. That's great. I'm very happy that you're doing that. But I mostly want to know if you are making art on your own. That's what I care about. If you're playing video games, that counts too. You're allowed to be second screening also. But I would love to know if you're making any art today, because I love to hear it. I think it's great. I think this is always fun. Anyway, finishing up a zine, that's pretty good, right? Making a script analysis for an audition, also good. Very, very good there. Painted leather jacket sounds fun. That sounds cool as hell. I love a good painted leather jacket. That's great. Oh, that's interesting. Testing your WarioWare style mobile game. I'm very curious. That sounds good. I'm sorry. Horse Fiend says wood burning teeth coins. Those are 3 words that I have never heard in that order before. Wood burning teeth coins? I'm gonna need you to explain what that means. More than just that, Horse Fiend. I need to know about that one. I obviously, everyone's art here. Some people asking, is math art? Math is definitely art. This is just math. Music is just math, so that counts. Some good stuff. Making a fantasy map, always good. Making a card game, that's cool. Real spoopy, that's fun. Horse Fiend, wooden coins with teeth on them. Okay, that makes much more sense, Horse Fiend, because in my head, I was imagining that you were... When I heard wood-burning teeth coins, I understand now. So it's a coin that has an image of a tooth on it. That makes more sense. For a moment, I thought it might be like you had teeth and you were wood burning them, and so the teeth became the coin. But that's also interesting. Like scrimshaw, right? That's the term for it when you carve into bone. Teeth are bones? Teeth are not bones. They're close enough. That counts. Anyway, pretty cool. Yeah, there's a term for that. Scrimshaw, if you've never heard. Yeah, it's the art of carving on marine mammal ivory. So it's usually on like whale bones and stuff. That's what the term is. So scrimshaw is pretty cool thing to... Oh, I just realized I put that over here. It wasn't on my PC. There you go. That's what's going on here. Anyway, the reason I was reminded to ask you all what kind of art you're doing is because, by the way, I have been working on the other art. I won't play it the whole thing for you, but I said that I was gonna try to turn around my scam song from last week, before this week, but I had a bunch of other work that was more important last week. I had some more pressing matters to attend to, but I'm still closer to that. Let me see if I can pull up my the thing. You can at least see that I've filmed and I've finished writing it, and I've done that, so that will hopefully come out. I'd like to not spend... The thing is, I kept being like, oh, this will be a quick one. I can finish editing this in a day. And then I was like, oh, I have to make all these graphics and I have to do all this other stuff. But here's proof that I'm working on it. There's me, and that's me. That's me, definitely Brian David Gilbert talking normally. But I've got all of the rest of the things, so I'm working on it. It's in process, is all I'm saying. The scam song will be happening. This also reminds me, why don't we just go take a look? Let's see what the scammer on TikTok, the person who is pretending to be me on TikTok. Let's see if they uploaded anything new recently. Have they uploaded anything new since the last time I spoke about it? Oh yeah, they uploaded one just 5 hours ago. Thank you for doing that. But it's not me. Sorry, Brian David Gilbert 1. but still doing it. I was gonna say it seemed as though they had stopped for a moment because they stopped after 3-1, but then 5 hours ago they're still posting as me. It's not me. It's not me. What can you do? Yes, if you think you're following me on TikTok, you are not. Sorry. Incorrect. So anyway, that's something that I have to figure out what to do with. Probably can't do much of this. Anyway, that's unfortunately TikTok won't let me take down a scammer unless I join TikTok. And now, just for the principle of the matter, I refuse to do it. I refuse to. Anyway, let's record some lyrics really quickly, just so I can remember. Okay, sounds good. Let's do this, shall we? I think, although loneliness has always been a friend of mine. I'm not peaking at all, am I? Yeah, I think I'm okay. I can keep this going for right now. And I just have to make sure I got the lyrics. Where did I put the lyrics? Where did the lyrics go? Give me the lyrics. Okay, there we go. By the way, the reason I was bringing all that stuff up was to say that I always, just from talking through streaming, it ruins my voice because I'm always very loud. I can't stop myself from being loud. I don't know why. I've tried my best. But I get too excited and then that rips up my vocal cords and then I can't sing very well. So I tend to try to record these things off screen, but I'm going to do this one just so I can get a skeleton down and see if I can play around with the music and see if it sounds fun. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind. I should let me listen to the song and remember how the rhythm goes, shall we? Let me sing it a cappella once so I can remember how this goes, right? Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. Well, you got me blind is still a mystery. Can get you out of my head. Okay, I can do this. All right, it's just the first one that has a pickup. I was thinking that they all had pickups, but no, it's just the first one that does. Max keeps it clean. Max keeps it clean. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me. I don't care who you are, where you're from, and what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, or what. Oh, I forgot they have the don't care what in that last bit. But hey, that's why I have to record it multiple times. Let's just go ahead and do this real quick. In your history, sorry, wrong, incorrect. I have to start from this one. Can't get you out. I'll start recording from in here so that way I can have a little more of a pickup. Which one? Which one? Expanse. There you go. It's control. All right, there we are. Go in here. Oh, what? Oh, it was only a 2 pickup? Why would that happen? That's okay. Well, I learned that now. Okay, that's fine. No, no, no. Okay. Now I'm ready. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me. The song is very nice. You know, I feel like I've taken it for granted, but we all hope that we can find someone who can love us no matter where we're from or what we've done. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? That's good. You should care a little bit about what people have done in the past. If somebody's murdered 12 people and they've all been that person's, like, significant others, you should care about that. That's one instance in which you should care about what they did. But outside of that, it's very nice. It's very nice to have an idea of unconditional love. Yes, Achilles MV. The line is 11 people. Any more than that, Any less, you know, people can change, okay? That's just how it is. All right, let me just let's just see what I can do with this. Although loneliness is always, I don't know if I'm gonna do much of like processing to this voice, but I also like I want to learn about. I don't know a single thing about compressors. Like whenever I end up using a compressor, it's always just kind of like, well, does it sound okay? Maybe that's good. But I just, pardon me, hiccups. Let's do just a nice gentle squeeze. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't. What is OTT? I will look it up. It's just this thing. I mean, I'll take a look around with this tempered jack. Why not? Let's see. Let's turn this off and see what it does. Ooh, that's crunch. That's really. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that It's interesting. That's a fun. Although loneliness has always been. It sounds much more that kind of like poppy. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine. What does this do? What is this? It's a dynamics thing. OTT. Is it just doing it like it's basically an EQ plus a compressor or something? What's going on? Although loneliness has always been. It's wicked compressed now, which is, I don't know if I love it, but I do. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. This is a funny little thing. Although loneliness has always been... This is curious. Curious. It's a multi-band compressor? That makes sense. I mean, maybe... What can I do to give it, like a... I mean, I just want to know what tube trash does to this. This is probably a dangerous game to play. Let me just start it low. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, just a little distortion. People say I'm crazy and that... Maybe not. It's good. Oh, I can duplicate the vocal track just for effects. That's a funny idea. Put it before the OTT. Let's give it a try. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. Maybe not. I like it. I want it to be like I want there to be some amount of distortion in this voice. I'm not 100% sure what I want that to be just yet. Let me just see what snores is. Stop that immediately. Loneliness has always been a friend of mine. I don't want that right now. Wide and dirty. Yeah, I should have known that was gonna be loud as soon as I did it. Sorry about that. What does a droney cave sound like? Of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say it's fun. It's a fun idea. But what's a good I'm trying to think of, let me just see, I'm gonna look up an Ableton, I'm gonna look up a how-to guide for, like, I want it to sound like I'm coming through an old cell phone. That's the vibe I'm going for. Does that make sense to you all? Like, I don't know what I'm searching for. Ableton, I guess, like a phone... like, but like specifically I want it to sound like an like an EQ. Let's see if they've got a thing that seems fun for this. Singing telephone vocal. I guess I could, let me just try this really quickly and see if this does anything to it. This might be what I'm looking for. I mean, it is. A friend of mine. I'm leaving my life in your hands. Yep, that's the one that I'm looking for. Do I put the compressor before or after this? What do we think? Does that change a lot? But that is exactly what I was looking for. So glad that I didn't have to look that up very hard. Glad that we could find that one there. Let's see what the frequency is. There's always been a friend of mine. I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind. I can change things with a cue. Is that what's going on with this? I don't know. This is interesting. My life in your hands. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me. And then I think what I want to do is probably split this up and put this on a different section, right? Like, I think what I want... I don't care. this should be no longer in this should no longer be in the telephone, right? This part has to be without that EQ. I don't care who you are. Something like that, where that'll change that up. But I could probably also, I need to make another one of these. Let me really quickly, just so I can have it, because I like to hear when the harmonies are happening. And what is the secondary harmony that Brian Luttrell does? As long as you're here with me. That's a fun line. I don't think I ever knew that that's where that line went. But that's cool. That's a fun little thing to do. Anyway, this one's easy to fix. What? I didn't mean to do that. Just. How you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my. I just totally forgot what the lyrics I was supposed to sing right then were. How you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history. As long as you're here with me. That's again a weird long as you're here with me. Long as you're here with me. Long as you're here with me. I'm gonna do both of those again. How you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history. As long as you're here with me. I don't care. Mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history. As long as you. I'm a little bit late. Is this from latency, or is this just me being bad at singing? Because it could be either. Don't blame things on software when it could just be that you're bad. That's an important thing to remember. A poor craftsman blames his tools, but also sometimes the tools are wrong, so you have to know that. I can't get you out of my head. That seemed like latency. No, I don't think it's latency. As long as you're here with me. I don't. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I've fixed it enough. That was probably input delay, but either way. I don't care. And then let's just see what the other. I need to remember what the. Who are, where you're from, what you did, as long. Who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long. As long as you love me, as long as you love me, right? Like something like that, because that's what that secondary. It's mostly in unison. This part is mostly in unison, which means that I should just re-record this part a couple times, right? Because that's how you got to have the natural difference in the voices there. But like it's just you just have a double track. As long as you're here with me. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me. And then what you would normally do is not start singing as soon as you stop recording your track, so you don't have to cut it out. But the other thing you would want to do is you can either change it to be in different ears. I don't care who you are. The problem is also that because I have only one voice, because I'm only singing in one voice, it's weird to double up melodies because it sounds better when you have a couple different timbres of voice singing together. They don't mesh together in the same exact way. Occasionally when you're singing just with yourself, it just sounds a little muddy and bad. I'll think about it. I'll do the other harmony for now and just see what I can do with it. Let me listen to it one more time. Who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me. Easy peasy. I should be easy peasy. I'm gonna say that and then I'm gonna immediately screw this up 8 times. But that's just how it is. I don't care who you are. Okay. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love. That was wrong. Again, I say easy and then I don't, and then I screwed up. Part of it's also that I'm a little flat in that other track. This is why I don't like to record on stream. It takes so long to really nail a take of this. But I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are. No, I don't like this. I think what I need it to be is either higher or lower in my voice, because I'm right now right at that part where I'm breaking in my falsetto. That's not gonna work for that kind of harmony. But let's take a break on that, and then I've got enough that I can. I've got enough that I can play around with the some other sound effects from this song, because there's some other wild sounds going on in here, and that's where Max Martin really shines. Max Martin is a great songwriter, also a great producer, and just puts a bunch of stuff in there. There's like It's so acoustic guitar heavy that I'm kind of shocked. In my head I imagine this song being less acoustic guitar heavy, but the song is so acoustic guitar heavy throughout the entirety of it. You always have to have some strings being in the background there. I mean, give me a second. I'll be right back. In fact, actually, I'm going to throw this over to the BRB screen. I got to go to the bathroom, and then I'll be right back. I'm going to bring up my ukulele, and I don't think it's going to be good for this song, but I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to mess around with it just because that's the fun of this, right?
That's the point of the stream.
I'm testing here, right? That's the point of the stream. I'm testing here. I wanna see if I can make my ukulele sound more like an actual, like a guitar or something. So hang tight. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Yaha! I'm back. So the good news about this is that it's one of the easiest songs to play. I'm not a great instrumentalist, but I can at least do this thing because it's. And this has always been a friend of mine. I'm leaving my life in your hands. And never say I'm crazy and that I am blind. Risking it all in a glance. Right? Like this is about as easy as it could get. This is one of the best songs to learn. If you're just picking up an instrument, this is the best one to learn. It is the 4 chords that you need to learn in order to play any song, any pop song. And it's pretty slow, so yeah, I'll just keep it on the C. That's close enough. Yeah, okay. So if I were to record say another track. Wrong one. Is it Control T? Control T. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So if I just do this real quick, and then we're gonna mess around with this for a while and see if we can turn this into something that doesn't just sound like me playing the ukulele poorly, which should be fine. Yeah. Look, any song that is in C or F or G, you can learn on the ukulele really, really fast. If it's easy chords. Once you get into like the 7th and stuff, you can figure that out too. The hardest, I remember having so much trouble being able to hit an E, which is it's not that hard to actually hit. It just, when I'm self-taught with the ukulele, which is to say that like I used it just so I could do this, so I could play tabs online. It's pretty simple. Anyway, let's just see if I can randomly do this quickly, and it's probably not gonna be perfect, but I'll give it a shot. Good enough for today. Let's get in there and let's mess around, shall we? Yeah, I guess I could have used the metronome. I should have been fine without the metronome though, because this had at least I had a percussion in the background. I was still pretty off though, wasn't it? That's a little bit of latency though. That's not entirely my fault. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy. Okay, so now let's mess around with this, shall we? Let's get in there and let's start with what happens if I put an amp on here? What's rhythm funk gonna do to this? I just wanna hear it a little bit. But let's see if I do a pitch shifter, right? What is pitch? Is this the thing that I have to do to make this work? Oh no, this just shows me the pitches that are going on there, huh? I mean, I guess the thing that I have is this. No filters. I don't want any filters. I'll download that in a bit. I just want to... That's pitch correction, so I don't really want to mess around with this. I'm sorry to say, King Oganesson, that there were no seagulls sampled in We Like Watching Birds. Other birds, but not seagulls. That's one of the one birds I didn't sample in that. There's a pitch dial on the track itself. Of course, I learned this the other day. And I forgot because I'm testing here. And I always forget whenever I'm testing. I always forget the things that I've learned. So here's the pitch. If I were to bring it down by 12, is that right? Bringing it down an octave doesn't really change it to sound more like a guitar, obviously. It's there, but it's very, very... I mean, obviously it sounds more like a nylon guitar because a ukulele has nylon strings, but it's pretty good pitched. If I were to bring up... I mean, there's a part of me that thinks what I could do is duplicate it, and then in one of them go down 12, and then try to mix these two together so that way it still has the high, right? All right, well, I'll keep this one untouched for now, and I'm just gonna mess with the one that I pitched for now. Pitch shifted rather. And I want to see if I can make it sound a little nicer. So I'm going to put in an EQ. I'll probably just do an automatic one that they have in here, right? Like something that's nice. If I take an EQ 8 or whatever and acoustic guitar, I'm assuming that this is for acoustic guitars, this EQ right here. Yeah, fine. Pretty okay. I do want... Huh. I mean, this could... I don't know. I'm just, again, I'm playing around right now. Why not? Why not give this a try? What's funny about the resonator is that it just, you know, like what you would expect, a resonator just kind of plays a bunch of weird overtones over top of what you're hearing, which is fun. I don't know what I would use that for yet. I haven't quite figured out what happens if I put a resonator on like a vocal track. This is, again, this is just for fun. I just want to hear what happens if I put Los Angeles on my vocal track here. Yeah, it just sounds like I'm yelling into a tin can, which is pretty fun, but not what I need right now. How about if I were to do like, I want there to be some distortion, right? Like that's an important thing. Thank you, Puffle Master 2. Welcome to everybody. We're we're in the middle of doing a little Backstreet Boys cover. We're just goofing around right now. It's been fun. So, you know how it goes. Sometimes you just got to mess around with things for a bit. What does Zaire sound like? Maybe this? Hmm. I don't think it needs distortion in that way. I guess I can copy and paste this one to be in the other one for now. Make this way quieter because I don't want it to be that overpowering. But I still want a little bit of that high frequency, you know? Maybe I could get OTT. I mean, we can just go back to the classic OTT. But that's the thing is OTT is already doing what this other. Well, no, I guess maybe not. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Do I put this before or after? Sorry, everybody. You have to understand. I don't know anything about production. Compressor before or after EQ? So compressors go before EQ when you're tracking 90% of the time. So what's that hissing coming from? I don't know. I just don't know. Okay. It's kind of like it kind of sounds like the kind of distortion you get from just tapes. I mean, is it just like a gain on the noise that's happening in this room? Because that's very possible. I mean, let me just see if a compressor has like here's a thing that just says acoustic something compressor, acoustic kick compressor, acoustic compressor. Let's just see what happens if I do this. Maybe. Well, now I just want to do something silly. This is when you get into like this is when I'm like I need to do more research outside of the stream so that way I can learn more about just basic production things. So that way I can come in and just be like, I know what this thing does. But again, that's the point of the stream is to goof around and see what happens. And I'm really interested in what dripping grains means. That's a funny little resonator. Little tinkly noises in the background. Funny, funny, funny. I could yeah, it did sound like the ringtone for some phone. I don't remember, but it does sound like it in the background. Let's do a little reverb. I like that kind of. It's not overwhelmingly whenever somebody gives me a chance to play around with reverb, I just make it the drippiest thing in the world. And I don't think that's what this needs. That sounds pretty guitar-y to me. I don't know. Like it I'm surprised at how guitar-y it sounds. I don't know if it sounds good in context with everything else yet, because I've just been playing around with that. That's interesting. It's kind of getting there. I still don't love, I mean, like, this is fun. I'm having a good time making this cover, and I'm learning a lot about not just this song, but about Ableton. But the thing that makes Max Martin so good is that he knows exactly when to stop putting stuff into the arrangement, and that's something I never know. I like this, but it's so heavily hitting that rhythm, right? Like it's smacking that rhythm so hard that I don't know if it's, I need to have a little bit of stuff mixed into it, it feels like. I think I'm trying to figure out where I want the rhythm to change. Cause like this has the same rhythm. It has that dot 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 dot. And then this has the same rhythm. And then this has the same rhythm. And even this has the same rhythm. The bass also. I mean, it's got a slightly different version of the rhythm, but it's still... It's still in the same space, right? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go. I need a kombucha. I know we only have an hour left, but I need a. My brain is slowing down. I just need something to kick me back in. You know what I mean? Just give me a second. I'll be back in like 2 to 3 minutes. Hang tight. You get to see the BRB screen twice in one day. What a surprise. Delicious. I needed just a little bit of something to wake me up. Needed a little kombucha, a little booch break. Sometimes you got to get a little booch break in. Keep you going. This is berry lemonade kombucha by Health Aid. Sometimes that's all there is to it. I think I've said this before, but like kombucha is one of those things that I thought it was really bad, and then I became an adult and was like, well, I'll have it. I kind of like it now. And that it was one of those things that I definitely it was the first time I heard about it was at my job at a climbing gym when I was 16. And the like 25-year-olds were like, "Oh, I love kombucha." And I was like, "What does it taste like?" And they're like, "Ah, kind of like apple cider vinegar." And I was like, don't describe a drink like that. Why would I want? That doesn't make me want this. That doesn't make me want this. But yeah, I am the kombucha girl. I have become kombucha girl, consumers of kombucha. Good on her. I was gonna say, I've heard that, Mechtel, about how really the reason why we become less picky eaters as we grow up is because the taste buds are dying. Isn't that beautiful, though? It means you get to appreciate the other tastes as you grow older. It's very important to also understand. I used to want to be like a super taster. Do you guys know about super tasters? The ones that have like more taste buds on their tongues. And I think I was not a super taster growing up, but I'm okay with that because I love being an adventurous, non-picky eater. It's great. It's great. Digital Seahorse says, apple cider vinegar isn't that bad if you only use 1 spoon in a glass of water or juice. I bet that's true. I've had just like straight apple cider vinegar whenever I have like a throat issue. It's very harsh. I don't know if it's actually good for you. But I've done it because that's what my grandma used to tell me to have. And it's intense. Having even a spoonful of apple cider vinegar straight, whew, oh baby. Oh, baby. That's a lot. I don't think you can become a super taster. I think it's a genetic thing. I'm pretty sure it's a genetic thing. Maybe not genetic, but... Anyway. Let's hear what we got once again. Cause I'm enjoying this, but I think I could make this is just sounding like a worse version of the original. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm doing it too 1-to-1, you know? Maybe that's my problem. Maybe what I need to do is a hyper pop version of this. What's gonna happen to my voice when I do this? Yeah, we're cooking now, baby. I don't think that's the answer to this question. I haven't quite figured out for Backstreet Boys what elevates it to become a different style of song. Like what can I do to put my own twist on this? Because it's sounding too just straightforward, you know? Maybe a I'm going to change the rhythm entirely. I think I'm going to change the rhythm entirely. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to start fresh in the last 45 minutes of this stream, and we're going to make it a little bit more groovy. We're going to put a little bit more, because right now it was a little too plodding for my liking. I think I could get a nice little like let's play around with a drum kit really quick. I'm just going to pick one at random, and whatever it sounds like, it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Okay. I'm changing it. Sorry, I have to. I said I was gonna just choose which one I wanted, but I think I want a little bit more of a silly. I want it to sound more like this. I think that's what I'm gonna go with, and let's make this groove a little bit longer than just one measure, 4 measures maybe. So it's. I think this is the one that I want. What is future-proof kick? Yeah, that's kind of fun. It's a much heavier. Whew, that's a spicy clap. Spicy clap. Crash. Boring. Also very spicy. Also very spicy. What was I going for? Well, I know I'm not done the mystery. I can't get you out of my head. And I need a da 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 da. Gotta got da 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 da. Right, like that could be maybe if I just focus on the drum and the bass, then we can kind of mess around with that. Um, what's a good bass? Let's just search bass, shall we? Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, is this just always going to be that loud? Am I not going to be able to mess around with the... Too loud, too loud. Okay, so if I go... Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Juju Draws Art. Welcome. Welcome to this stream, which is meant mostly so that you can do your own art in the background of the stream. So it seems like a solid person to come raiding. Okay. I'm kind of throwing everything out the window right now, and just seeing if any of this... This is not what I'm aiming for. In fact, maybe what I want, maybe I should play around with a different hmm. Because if this is loneliness has always been a friend of mine. Leaving my life in your hands. I mean, this is a very different vibe for this song, but that's kind of fun, you know? Always been a friend of mine. I'm leaving my life in your hands. And people say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. How you got me blind is such a mystery. Yeah, I might have been more of a triplet sort of thing. I think I can change it if I there should be a way to affect my the way that I quantize things. But now I kind of like what's going on with this. What do I have in terms of... I mean, that's the other way that I could do this, I just have thought, which is I could quantize this, or I could put it into... I could make it a... What if I put this into 6/8? It's too much. I think I won't put it into 3/8. It's a fun idea, but it don't seem like it would serve any purpose to me. It's kind of it's a fun. Sometimes maybe in a different Max Martin song. This one's just a little harsher, and I kind of like what's going on with that. And so if I were to do it like this, then what if I took like a pad or something that was kind of more of like a something like this one. Seems like a silly idea, but I kind of like it, especially if I can mess around with a little bit of the Okay, let's do kind of got a little bit of a I don't know exactly how to put it, but It's interesting. Yeah, maybe this is a vocoder. I was gonna say it does sound Daft Punky. That's kind of what I was ending up in at this point. But if I just do the power chords of these, almost justicey a little bit, right? Like there's a little bit of that going on in there. So if I were to just record within here. Screwed up, but also all of these are a little bit off, aren't they? Yeah, I guess my inputs are not great right now. Okay, so if I wanted to, like, I mean, let's just record this really quickly. Okay, so now as soon as somebody said the vocoder, I want to do it. I want to do a vocoder. I just want to do a vocoder, which makes me think that, like, I guess I could do a so if I remember from the very little that I learned about this before, it would be something like this. If I were to take this and then put it into here, and let me just record really quickly just so I have a something to vocode. So I'm gonna just, in fact, I'm not even gonna sing it. I'm gonna say it in rhythm. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And now my only spoken word covers of Max Martin's famous songs. Move over, William Shatner. There's a new spoken word artist. Okay. So. I have to look up a quick vocoder in Ableton tutorial. What's the sound though? That's something I need to have. If I can I need to make sure that, because a vocoder has to go through an instrument, right? I think this one might be the best one to start with, just to mess around with it at least. because now all I need to do is go on in here. Nope, wrong. Not a loop, just a length. There we go. And this will go. A little too reverb heavy right now. I don't want that anymore. Would that be under oscillator 2, oscillator 1? Where am I going to be able to mess around with the reverb of this? I have to learn about oscillators and stuff. I gotta learn about oscillators. Although oh, did I do this in between two? No, I didn't. I was right. Although lonely. I see what I did. Although lonely. Okay. Although loneliness has always been a although lonely. It's in the release and decay on the synth. That makes the most sense to me. I just have to make sure. Oh, there we go. I see it. Let's move that decay. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine. Well, there's still some other stuff going on in this right now I need to figure out. Okay. But now the more important thing is figuring out how to make this into a vocoder. So I take this, and I think what happens is then I can maybe move this. Is this so? I put a vocoder onto the thing itself. It's under audio effects. You can make it into a vocoder. Is that right? Vocoder. I take this, I put it into here. Carrier, and then I'm taking audio input from, and let's just go ahead and name this so that way I can easily see it. Rename as main vox. All right, and then this will be, I take this and then I can grab main vox Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. Is that... Do I do it the opposite? Oh, other way around. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Anyway, I'll take this, paste that in, and I put it into ChariPad. Let's see how it sounds now. Okay, 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 okay. This is good. And let's just go ahead and... The good news about this is I can just extend all these so that way they all match up with each other. Because then it should just... I mean, we'll see how well this goes. Pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Okay. Now let's mess around with the different types of instruments that this could be, you know? Because I liked ChariPad, but I want to mess around with something else now. How does it sound if I do this one? It buries it all. What happens if I use this one? Funny. Let's just do a simple synth brass is gonna work. That's fun. That's great. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh, I forgot. I have to mute this now because... This is fun. We'll just scooch it up a little bit because I haven't quite nailed the latency stuff here, but that should be fine. Great. And luckily most of this follows the same kind of thing. Let me hear what... Let's bring the velocity up on all this. Let's see what happens now if I do this. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. Cool. Okay, and then I can just go ahead and record all the rest of this now because I can copy and paste this, and it should get me most of the way across the finish line, as long as I now hit this one as well. This will have similar... Oh, whoops! I forgot to. I put it a little too far forward, didn't I? I meant to bring it back here. Because now if I do this. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance.
People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance.
Hell yeah. All right. This is fun. I have no idea if this is going to go anywhere after this specific I would be astounded if this continues to get made after today, but it is fun to do. I'm enjoying making it. All right, let me change a little bit of how I'm singing this right now, because I think now that I have a better sense of how this vocoder works, I think I can get a little more emotion into it. Maybe might be the right phrase. Let's see what I can do. Okay. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me. Now that is gonna be great. I'm sure. Once again, a little bit delayed, it seems like, but that's okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just screwed it up really bad. That is also very possible.
Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in the glance.
I clipped there.
Now you got me blind as
Let's do this again, because I don't want to get quite that close to the microphone. But it's already working pretty well. And then I can also put in the harmonies just after this, which is fun too. So if I let's do this again. Although it's almost easier if I just sing one note the entire way through, but we'll see how it goes. Although lonely, I should put on the click track, Brian. You don't know when the track is starting. Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me. Okay. Now let's get in there and fix this.
although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head.
And let's just go ahead and put in a little oomph into this. No. No.
I can't get you out of my head.
Head.
Can't get you out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history. History, as long as you eat.
Here. So I have to get in there a little bit. Here with me. Good. All right, and then I just need to put in the
History.
story. Can't get you out of my head.
History. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history.
Long. Long as you're here with me. Okay, that should be all I need to make this work. Okay, there we go. Turn off the click too.
Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking all in your plans. And how you tell me blind is still a lie. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me.
All right, yeah. Okay. This is fun. This is totally different from what I was expecting, but I'm kind of digging it, and I also think maybe I'm gonna put in just for fun. I'm gonna play and I'm gonna just figure out how to do an arpeggiator in this. Yeah, let's see what I can do with this one. And if I just do really quickly, if I just make this the same exact chord progression, it should be easy to do.
Although lonely.
Okay, cool. So now that I've got this, now I can see if I can make this. How do I do an arpeggiator in Ableton? It's an effect. It's an audio effect. No, is it count in here? That's not right. It's in MIDI effects, not audio effects. Obviously, Brian, it's a MIDI thing. Okay, so now if I were to take this and just solo it really quickly and just go like this. All right, let's see how this do in here. I'm still not 100% sure on it, but if it's just up there in the mists, it might work.
Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, we make my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind. Repeat all of my plans. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head.
Okay.
Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me.
All right. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun for someone who started one and then had to change it and then made a totally new one. I'm happy with this one as the secondary one. Just give it to me again. Why not?
Although loneliness has always been a friend of mine, we make my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind. Repeat all of my plans. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me.
Yeah, okay, that's fun. Let's listen to the other one to remember where we came from. Totally different vibe. Very much more standard to the original. Yeah, it's fun. It's just totally different from what the other one is. They're both, I like them both. I don't know if I will choose either of them. I don't even know if we'll end up doing this idea of making a full cover album of Max Martin songs, but it is a fun idea. It's just fun to play around. I was not being very creative today. I had to think about taxes and all that stuff. And so I was really hurting on the creative front. But this helped really bring me back to life, and I'm happy about that. I still have plenty of I got a bunch of other songs that I gotta keep working on for other things. And so I'll be working on that for a while. But this has been good. This has been real fun. We're gonna see. I'm not sure what I'll be up to next week. I think I'm pretty sure I should be fine next week. I'm just double checking. Yeah, I'll be back here same time as I have been. I know right now it is I believe America has changed to daylight savings, but Europe hasn't, if I'm not mistaken. I think that happens at the last Sunday. Am I wrong about that? I'm pretty sure it's the last Sunday of March in Europe. So it's slightly different if you live in Europe right now, but I will be back next week. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in right now. I hope if you guys cared about this, that the scheduled stream showed up on around here. I think it did. Yeah, that is why, Rambler. It did show up. Okay, that's good. I'm glad that it showed up at the very least. I'm just gonna put it on right now to say every Monday. It should say watch this while you do your art, and it should show up, and I will change it if it changes. But I think we should be good. Okay, good. Well, then I'll see y'all Monday. Unless something happens, in which case I will change it on the schedule. But this has been real fun. I hope you had a good time hanging out with me today as I goofed around and talked a lot about Max Martin. I hope you guys did some art. In fact, why don't we, before I do anything else, one last chance to tell me, did you do any art today? I would love to know if you did any art today. I would love to know how your wood burned teeth coins have gone. Whatever specific thing you're working on. Good job to everyone who's been doing art and stuff. Modeling a stove. Great. Making a live 2D model. Making a nice... Painting some trees. Doing some video editing. Still painting that jacket. I love to hear it. Drawing some pics. Playing some video games. That counts. That's still good. Sometimes math homework counts as art. That's a fact. It all counts. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Monday. I am gonna go continue the rest of my Monday. Hope it keeps going well. I'll catch you all next week, Monday from 2 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. See you all soon. Let me just see if I've got anything right now. I'm just before I leave, if there's anything that I'm forgetting right now. I mean, I could send you over to, you know what? Why not? I was gonna say, it seems like Drawfee is doing a little stream right now, so I'm gonna send you over to a different art stream. Okay? I hope you all have a really good time over there, in the Drawfee show. They're drawing something fun. What do they got going on right now? They're making a Kermit? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Anyway, I'll catch you all soon. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the other show. Goodbye!